weird period of Disney. Now, I don't consider it weird. I more consider this a time period when Disney took chances. All right. So one of these movies they are currently made a live action for that's coming out this month. And they finally realized that the fan base of this particular product wants you to remake a live version of this particular product. Not your own interpretation, not changing silly stuff for no reason and making things. No, they want you to make, if you're going to make a live action version, make it a live action version of the thing that they like. So I'm going to go through the list right quick. Weird Period brought some of the best and most underrated movies, but not all of them had the same strength on impact. And when Disney shifted their focus to 3D animation, which was dumb. I think I saw someone saying that, well, kids don't like 2D animation, which is silly, considering how much anime is kicking their butts. So kids do like 2D animation, and it's like good stories to go with the 2D animation. Not crap stories like you keep trying to push, but I digress. So the first one in this list was Mickey's House of Villains. I didn't really see that. All right, so this 2020, man, he's old. Shows the villains following Jafar's plan to take over the nightclub of Halloween. Yeah, so this is like one of those straight to video type of joints. Yeah, yeah, I couldn't get with it. Brother Bear actually was interesting. Had a nice soundtrack. I think this was also Phil Collins. Story is a Inuit, I think he was an Inuit, who gets turned into a bear, and he gets basically adopted by this orphan baby bear. So, and it just goes through the adventures of him trying to figure out how to go become human again. And as he's doing that, he is dealing with all the interesting characters in the forest and the needs of this baby bear. All right. One of the most underappreciated films, Brother Bear, which follows the Inuit, like I said, named Kenya, who transformed into a bear after needlessly kills one. I think it was his brother or mother or something like that he killed. They stuck with helping a young cub named Coda. Brother Bear's a beautiful movie that deserves much more praise and attention that it gets. Yeah, it's a very good movie. So I'm not too sure about this one. Yeah, but this one, yeah. But it also is like, it's one of those movies that you gotta take a chance with because it's not your typical type. I mean, it's a typical Disney type of story, but yeah, thought it was actually pretty good. Tarzan was very good. The most interesting thing about Tarzan is the lead animator. He based him on skateboarding. He was a skateboarder. Well, no, the lead animator wasn't a skateboarder. His son was. So he based like how he moved like a skateboarder does his little lines and tricks. So if you look at like how he moved through the trees, it's like a skateboarder would. Released the final film of Disney Renaissance Tarzan. The movie follows a baby who's Abe's killed by a leper named Saber. He must then figure out his place in the world. And like I said, it's a typical Disney type story. Tarzan is often lifted up as one of the animation studio's best movies of the era because of its gorgeous animation, and it actually did a fairly good job of mixing 3D animation and 2D. Like when he was going through the trees, I think that part was 3D. Despite its strengths, it's one of the weaker movies of Disney Plus Weird Period. The movie isn't expressive if its soundtrack is removed from the equation, but it's kind of all in. I remember listening to the dinosaur movie that Disney put out a while back. When you look at the special effects that's on the DVD, it allows you to take out the dialogue, the sound effects, and the music, right? So just see what it sounded like. See what the mix sounded like if you take out one of these elements. When you take out the music, It just the scene doesn't work. When you take out the special effects, I mean the sound effects, the scene doesn't work. But when you take out the dialogue and you just have the sound effects, excuse me, and the musical background music, it works. But because the reason why it works is animated, so like is animated well enough where you can actually get how the dinosaur is feeling about the scenario that he's in. And the situation was it's either something is exploding. So I don't know if it was a meteor or it was a volcano. I don't remember which one. It's been a while since I've seen this movie, but the facial expressions give you how terrified the main character was. So you didn't really need the dialogue of him yelling and huffing and puffing and whatever. So from my point of view, all that stuff tied together. You can't have one without the other. Like movies that really, really work usually have a very good soundtrack, and the ambiance and the effects and all that stuff are really good as well. And it is written well. So you have all three of those things, you typically have a good movie. All right, Atlantis: The Lost Empire. Yeah, that movie was good in terms of strength. Again, it's a Disney-ish movie, but kind of takes chances. It's a little different from the. It does have the main Disney fingerprints on it, but it's a different type of story. It's all of these movies are kind of movies that Disney would not make nowadays because it does a lot of formulaic stuff. While this does have the Disney fingerprints on it, the story is still unique. Or not, yeah, it is still somewhat unique. It animated, critical, and commercial flops. I actually liked it, so I don't. Failing epically at the box office, however, this film has gained a cult following since then, and it's actually a great movie upon reflection. Like other movies in Disney's weird period, Atlantis pushes the boundaries when it comes to style and story. The animation blends together the traditional Disney style with that of comic books and anime. With directors signing Miyazaki as a major influence, which is Studio Ghibli. Story also feels like a Dungeons and Dragons campaign come to life with characters who possess contrasting personalities having to work together to achieve a goal. And they bounce off one another perfectly, enhancing the humor, and there's a sense of adventure throughout the entire film. What's interesting about this whole thing is there are a lot of you would on the surface think of as modern woke takes on certain things, like certain it's very diverse. The given the time period that it's in is very diverse. They have women doing things that will be more masculine, but they don't. None of this stuff comes across as forced, which makes it a good story because none of this stuff is forced. It's like they have an actual reason why each one of these racially diverse people are there. All right, so number 3, Emperor's New Groove. I just bought this. Like all the characters, and this is a very good character cartoon, where story is kind of basic, but given the chemistry between these two and these two, you have a really great villain. The like Eartha Kitt is like they're all funny. So everybody's funny. John Goodman plays basically John Goodman, and this is a really good movie. Like, which is the reason why I just purchased it again. I have it on DVD, but I decided to get it on iTunes. Groove is a great way of Disney to start off the millennium, and it simplifies Disney weird period. The story follows the selfish emperor named Kuzco, who gets turned into a llama by Yzma, and power-hungry ex-member of his administration. He wants to enlist the help of Paca, and villager who gets snubbed who he snubbed at the start of the film, transformed back into human. The story is funny, weird, and experimental, and it's zero focus on romance, which is the usual Disney films to that point. All right, like I said, this movie is all about the characters, how they react to each other, all the jokes. The jokes work very, very well. I love this movie. Mulan. Okay. Yeah, this was again. All these are really good movies, except for like the villains one. That was more of a straight to video kind of thing. But Mulan started Weird Period, which obviously through the blending of traditional innovation, the story follows a titular young woman who pretends to be a man so she can take place of her father in war, hoping to earn honor for her family. Again, this story would have some elements of what we would consider woke now. They're just done very well, as opposed to the stuff that happens now, which is not done very well. Just like before, very good soundtrack, good songs. The art of all of these, all the art for most of these movies are very good. The good characters development, good characters. Each person does things in a way that fits their character, and there's an actual reason for why they do the things that they do, like all of them. And finally, Lilo and Stitch, which they are, like I said, remaking into a live action movie right now. This is another excellent thing. I love this movie, and I even bought the art book for it. I have it. I have it on like Blu-ray. I have it on DVD. I love this thing because it's an original story back when Disney used to do original stories. And that's the thing about all of these stories is they're all different, right? So it's not the same. It's not that you don't feel cookie cutter when you there's no cookie cutter when it comes to any of these movies. They're very good watches. I would recommend all of them except for maybe Villains. Like I said, the only reason I don't recommend Villains is because I've never seen it. Yeah, so I cannot wait to the live action thing. When the trailer for it came out, I was like, I don't know about this. Till I watched it, I'm like, yeah, it was basically a live action version of Lilo and Stitch. So